As a large 7-seat family SUV, the new Hyundai Santa Fe Active, well, it's kind of below average. I'll just pull over a second and tell you what I mean. You see, if I was standing around about here, I'd be touching the tailgate of a CX-9 or Kluger and the average size for this segment. However, the Santa Fe is 19 more centimetres likely to fit in a garage or that urban parking environment. But there's got to be a knock-on effect on family practicality, and I'm going to look at that today. Today I'm testing the Hyundai Santa Fe Active with diesel and all-wheel drive, which is $51,800 before on-road costs. This car represents a mid-life update for the 4th gen Santa Fe. It's when most cars get some new bumpers, taillight lenses, perhaps some better standard equipment. But Hyundai's done something very unusual with this Santa Fe. They've binned much of the stuff you can't see and retained a lot of what you can. It's kind of like this iPhone SE. It looks like an iPhone 8 on the outside, but inside beats the heart of an iPhone 11. So you get the superior technology in a familiar look and feel. Let's see how it all hangs together in the real world. One of the results of transplanting Hyundai's latest engineering and technology into the Santa Fe is a more refined, quieter experience on the road. It's smoother too, with a couple of exceptions I'll talk about later. But overall, the driving experience of this car has matured without losing its youthful demeanour. And I'm going to sound like I'm exaggerating, but round town, the new Santa Fe feels small and nimble, almost like a hatchback. It's uncanny. Hyundai's fixed the heavy, low-speed steering I complained about the old model too. It's not sporty, but it just feels great. Ride quality is great in the new Santa Fe. It's firm, but without being jostly or jiggly. I think it's really impressive. On motorways or fast country roads, you can just sit back and enjoy crunching kilometres. It's great for family road trips or if you travel far and wide for work. The steering does a pretty good job of letting you know what's going on below deck, and the brakes are pretty good too. So I know the Santa Fe is a large 7-seat SUV, but you want your family car to be good to steer, right? Out on the country lane, when it's nice and twisty and hilly, it doesn't disappoint. It's not exactly entertaining, but it's very responsive and it's very predictable, and that's comforting when you've got your precious cargo on board and you might have to make evasive action. Being an all-wheel drive SUV, I had to take it on some gravel roads, and it's actually really good there too. That same responsiveness and predictability you get on bitumen really shines through, and these 18-inch wheels with 60-section tyres, they really absorb some of those craters you get on unsealed roads. Now, there are a couple of quirks still with this dual clutch transmission, such as when you're doing a low speed manoeuvre on anything but a completely flat surface, sometimes there's a bit of hesitation between selecting forward and reverse gears, and if you are doing a hill start, for example, it just kind of revs the engine in a way you don't expect it to. Apart from that, it's one slick piece of kit. Engines wise, you can get any version of the Santa Fe with all-wheel drive and a 4-cylinder diesel, like the one I'm driving, or front-wheel drive and a V6 petrol engine. This 2.2 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel develops 148 kilowatts of power, while torque is 440 newton meters. And Hyundai's claim of 6.1 litres per 100 kilometres on average has been pretty accurate during my time with the car, according to the onboard trip computer. I'd wager that the new 8-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox that you get in the diesel Santa Fe nowadays is a lot to do with that newfound fuel efficiency. The noise it makes at lower speeds is obviously diesel, but apart from that, it's impressively smooth and quiet. It's effortless once up and running, with muscular, swelling mid-range acceleration. Unlike the previous Santa Fe, there's no hesitation, no lag, it just goes, and I really like that. On twisty roads, it always seems to be in the right gear, or you hear the revs change exactly when you'd mentally be preparing to make a manual shift. I'm sure if you were to buy this car, you'd never notice it, or you'd get used to it. I've now spent a lot of time behind the wheel of the latest Santa Fe Active, and I'd gladly spend more. It's a great all-rounder, it's both easy and pleasant to drive, with very few flaws. When the 4th generation Hyundai Santa Fe launched in 2018, it was bulbous and angular all at once, not your typical boxy family SUV silhouette. Now this update's come along with a more imposing, a more kind of butch look to it, and I'd even say it looks even more expensive. It's all tied into what Hyundai calls a cascading grille that now runs between the all-new LED headlights. There's now no chrome separation of these eyebrow-like LED daytime running lights, and then this little light signature appears to thread itself between the bodywork to link them. And around the back here there's this full width reflector bar now, which proves that if you wait long enough, everything comes back into fashion eventually, which bodes well for my wardrobe. I think you'll agree that I'm the last person you should ask when it comes to aesthetics. However, Hyundai is starting to make all its cars look like they were made by different companies. Take the new Tucson for example. It doesn't look like any other Hyundai on the market. So drop us a comment below and let us know what you think of the Santa Fe's new look and how it fits into the rest of the range. Hyundai has this new naming convention where the base model Santa Fe is just called Santa Fe. Saves money on badges for the cheapest model, I guess. It starts at $44,700 plus on-road costs, which works out about 49 grand drive away here in Brisbane. That's for the two-wheel drive V6 petrol. For all-wheel drive and a 4-cylinder diesel engine, it's 3.5 grand extra on any variant. Standard kit includes this 8-inch multimedia system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, although during my time with the car, that Apple CarPlay kept going wrong. There's also wireless phone charging from base model up, which is great to see, a couple of USB points up front and another pair in the back. All Santa Fe's have alloys from 17 and 18 inches on the bottom two grades and 20s on the top two. They all have a full-size spare too. Bravo Hyundai! Really impressive is the adaptive cruise control that accurately keeps distance from the car in front, and it works really well with the automatic lane keep assist, the blind spot monitoring, all taking the stress out of motorway journeys and traffic jams. What you get for your extra coin over the base model is these lovely quilted leather seats and all this stitched material on the dashboard, even around here on the centre console. That's proper luxury car plush. There's dual zone climate control here too, and you've got vents for aircon in all 3 rows. Are you listening to that, Mazda? From Active up, there are front parking sensors, pretty essential when you're trying to look over that bluff bonnet, and another safety feature where you can't open the doors if there's another road user approaching. For a full list of all the features, check out my written review. Considering the leap in price gets bigger as you walk up the Santa Fe range, I'd be happy with this Active, thank you. But instead of paying the extra 6 grand for the Elite, maybe I could cherry pick a few of those features like the sunshades in the back, the power tailgate and digital radio. We could call it a 2 grand dad pack. How about it, Hyundai? Hyundai provides a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which used to put it ahead of most rivals, but 5-year warranties have now become something of an industry standard. Servicing happens every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, pretty standard stuff, and on this diesel version it will cost you around $460 for each of the first 5 visits. As is the case with all Hyundais these days, the new Santa Fe Active is competitive rather than value packed. I would say that there is more value in this new model though than previously. The Santa Fe's technology transplant has made the car a little bit bigger in every direction, but on an interior point of view, it's biggest here in the second row. As you can see, I'm a 6'2" bloke and I've got loads of room here. And you can slide this forwards and backwards in order to give a compromise of third and second row leg room. Most of what you see inside looks familiar from pre-facelift, like these crinkly textures on the speaker grills and the overall layout. And some of it doesn't. Significant interior design change here is this kind of rump-like centre console. It's got 2 decks, heaps of storage. You can fit a loaf of bread and 2 litres of milk underneath, which is great for those trips to the convenience store. And it's also covered in all these really nice, big, easy to use buttons that all stand up to a bit of ham-fistedness when you're on the road. Driver visibility is good, there are nice big mirrors, and that reversing camera image is pretty crisp. Second row storage is pretty good. We've got map pockets in both of these seats here. We've got bigger door bins than you get up front, and these cup holders in the central armrest as well. If you've got little ones, there's Isofix in both outer seats and top tether anchorages on all 3. I have some concerns about the Santa Fe's third row. Not only are there no airbags back here, it's really tiny as you can see, and because there are no child seat anchorages, there's a really narrow space of time between not legally having to be in a child seat and being too tall to fit. Finally, you have to get in and out through the side behind the passenger seat. With the third row in place, the boot has just 130 litres of capacity. No change there, but fold them down like this and the Santa Fe's bigger shell means you get 571 litres of space. That's 24 litres more than previously. Overall, boot space is a bit smaller than rivals, as you'd expect with a car that's shorter than the average. Considering that Hyundai has added more space in the second row of the new Hyundai Santa Fe, but left that third row cramped as it was before, it makes me wonder if it's any coincidence that the huge 8-seat Palisade launched about the same time as this thing. So apart from that cramped third row, as a family car, the new Santa Fe Active ticks about as many boxes as I do on the equal opportunities section of job application. Hang on, that's not why I'm here, is it?